Hello everyone, we are currently in Chennai and currently in front of a very important place. So let's come inside and see what a very special tour we have for you. Hello Saravanan. We are here at your place and we have come to see a very important room. So let's go.
Welcome, hearty welcome. So this is my home and this is my study room where I work as well as I keep my books and everything. Yeah, please come.
Wow.
I moved in pretty recently,
Wow.
so I haven't yet arranged everything. By the way, I have a very special thing here. It's a very old computer from 2006.
Oh wow.
This was the computer that Vishy Anand used to win 2 world championships. So he presented it to me after 2009 when it became obsolete for him. I haven't, of course, thrown it out. I will keep it as a memorabilia. I will probably put it up here in a stand, and I want to keep it as an inspiration for whoever comes and trains in this room.
Wow.
It was one of the prototypes of AMD when Anand was a brand ambassador. Sorry, it's all broken now, but it was a prototype of a AMD 2006 or something when Anand was a brand ambassador. So at that time, the logo will be here, I think. Yeah, the logo is on the top. Okay, it's all broken now.
Wow.
So I have kept it because it inspires me even today when I see it. So it was given to him even before it was released commercially. At the time only, the multi-core machine started coming only at this time, or a Pentium, I don't remember. So this was a very advanced computer at this time. But anyway, yeah, so this is basically where I work when I get my students, as well as this is where I do my study as well. I do my videos, everything here only. Yeah.
Wow, the start of the video is so interesting that I don't think many people in the world have seen something like this. Thank you so much for for showing it to us.
This computer, by now my house people have got quiet because they know that I'll never throw it out. Vishy himself makes fun of me. What are you doing? I've never known a person who has kept a computer for 18 years. I said no. For me, it's a memory of a person who won 2 world championships with that machine.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, amazing. And we see so many new books from the last video we did with you, and we are also seeing this new place been built up. So was this room selected to be your study room come your book room?
Yeah, this was basically my study. As I said, this is where I train people. Generally, I work one-to-one more than a group, or I don't have a chess academy and all that. I believe working individually with people is where you can make talents. You can actually give your best and help talents to blossom into full players. So I never started an academy, as well as I don't have plans of one as well. So this is basically where when my students land up, this is where we work. Of course, books, as you know my this thing of books. Maybe I can start with this story when it comes to the books. Sagar made the video of me with books about 10 years ago, I feel. Yeah, it was a very nicely made video by Sagar, thanks to him. So biggest impact came when 2017 I went to US for writing on St. Louis chess tournament, Sinkfield Cup and so on. For chess base I went for. So the full-fledged thing hit me when I went to Alabama State to do a 2-day workshop. I stayed with a chess organizer. His name is Balaji Govindan. He does something called Chess Kids Nation. He runs a website. He's a very popular organizer in US, known in India as well. So I did a day's workshop, first day's workshop. In the evening, he asked me, would you like to go to the temple? I said, sure. So we went to the temple. He went, and then the Prohit, the man who was doing the Aarti for the god, that was his friend. So he told the man, this is International Master Saravanan, he's a chess player, has come from India. He said, sir, I've seen your video with Sagar.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what? That was the kind of reach that video got. So
in Alabama, in a temple, a Purohit.
Yes,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was the kind of reach. Thanks to ChessBase India for that. So yeah, I'll be happy to show the new books, whatever has not been covered by Sagar so far. So we'll start with a very good one. So this is the fourth volume of Gulko and Sneed's books, basically. The first three volumes, they made it out to be tactical, positional, and practical play. This is basically the psychological aspects of chess play. You know, the format is Joel Sneed is, I think, was rated around 1800 or so. Of course, Boris Gulko is a great player. So throughout the book, basically, you know, Sneed will ask questions on each and every position, and then Gulko will answer with an explanation. That is basically how those three books were structured. So this is a wonderful book. You know, generally itself, there are very few books on chess psychology.
Yeah.
Calculation, psychology, these are two topics on which not many have been written. I think this is a well-written book.
And Sarah, I just wanted to interrupt, sorry. Whichever book you show, that there are so many times we get asked this question that I am 1200, 1300, 1600, 1800, what book should I read? So any book you show us, you can give us a guidance that which players, maybe every chess player should read, or 1600 above, or like if you can give us a rough guidance so that people who are watching this video can understand, okay, this book is for me, too high for me, something like that.
I understand, but I have a viewpoint about this. Honestly speaking, see, when it comes to language, it makes a difference if you're in 5th standard, what you can read, if you're in 10th standard, what you can read, if you're a fully grown adult, what you can read. But chess books, and even coaching also, this is my viewpoint. You read a chess book, let's say this book is probably for a 2200 or a 2300, probably. But if an 1800 reads it, as long as the kid has enough ability to understand the English part, actually it doesn't matter which book is for whom. A 1600 will probably understand 20% of it. A 2400 will understand 95% of it. So what? As long as the book stays in your memory, and if you read it well, you can always come back and go through it again. But the point stays that every chess book is beneficial. Every well-written chess book is beneficial for player of any standard. This is what I believe at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah. Very well said. Very well said. And it's also a good thing to come back to a book, right?
Yeah. See, these are some regrets I have in life. I studied in Tamil medium. So till my 20s, my understanding of the language of English itself was very limited. So not just chess books, even classics. For example, I got a prize of a book by Leo Tolstoy's short stories. The Prisoner of the Steppe was the name of the book, with a short story collection of the Leo Tolstoy. I got it as a prize when I was in 9th standard or 11th standard, I don't remember, for a debate competition. I read it, kept it, forgot it. When we changed residence and came to this house, I got the book finally. I was so excited, I read it fully. I gave it to my son as well.
Wow.
It gave me a completely different picture of what Tolstoy's short stories are compared to what I read 9th standard, 14 years old. So that is what, 40 years old before it was. So it is always a nice thing to go back and read a book again. I wouldn't say, it is something naturally happens to everyone. So no problem about what you study at what age. Not just chess books, anything else I would say.
Right, wonderful.
Yeah. This is, okay, now that you said about Ilo, this is actually a nice series of books by Tiviakov. 4 volumes he has written. Actually, very nice series written on the basis of selection of positional themes, strategic themes. See, for example, the effect of moving one pawn on the assessment of the position, the relative value of tempi in different positions. Deep concepts of middle game, most of them strategic basically. He has written 4 volumes. Only after he started writing these volumes, I understood that we have books on middle game, but not on pointed topics like this. There is another book by Bronznik, I don't have it in the open. If I get it, I'll show to you. There is another book by Bronznik, based on which Peter Hein Nielsen has recently done a chessable course also. Fundamentals of Positional Play, I think, is the name of the book. For example, if you take such a book also, you find a lot of examples, but this is even more exhaustive, I would say. So this is something I recently enjoyed. This is a man whom I really, really respect, and my chess education, real chess education, became much, much richer when I was a serious chess player, thanks to Dvoretsky. There is this nice story. I went to World Championship 2012. I quit my job in 2012. I was so happy. Now I can really focus on chess all my life. So, as to treat myself, I went as a journalist to Moscow to cover Anand Gelfand World Championship. So the very first day I went, the first round is about to start at 2 o'clock. I went at 11:30, I set up my computer, everything, plugged in everything, saw everything is fine. I just got up and looked. Mark Dvoretsky was standing there with Panchenko. Panchenko couldn't speak much English. I was even though when I'm saying this, I'm getting goosebumps. I got goosebumps when I saw him. I went and immediately introduced myself. Sir, I'm Saravanan. I'm an international master from India. I've read all your books. Whatever you have written, whatever has been read, published into English, translated into English, I have read them. It's an honor to meet you. He came for all the 12 games, Dvoretsky. And the tiebreak, I think, was not there. All the 12 games he came. Dvoretsky being Dvoretsky, he will not reveal his personality, or a person with complete humility, I found him. Okay. So, Moscow World Championship, you enter, turn left, you go to the tournament hall, turn right, you go to the press center, and then a small arena for people to come and give interviews, and then the VIP room. Dvoretsky would never go into the VIP room. He will actually stand next to journalists. He will not even sit. Mostly he will be standing. And whoever comes and goes, they will all go and talk to Dvoretsky. I saw, except for Kasparov and Karpov, whoever came there. See, this was Moscow.
Yeah.
The Russians showed how a world champion should be organized in the tournament. What they did is, till the 10th game, every 2 games, as a commentator, they brought in a world championship challenger. So the first 2 days it was Nigel Short, then it was Jan Timman, then it was Peter Likov. Fantastic commentary team. All these GMs, before coming for the commentary, morning they will go downstairs and give a simultaneous displays for some of the best children talents of Moscow, and then come and give the commentary like this. All of them would go and talk to him. The last 2 days it was Vladimir who came to give commentary. Amazing. Imagine Djokovic and Nadal playing and Federer coming and giving commentary. It was like that. Okay. Everyone would go and talk to Dvoretsky, and all their body languages will be so respectful when they speak. He will talk the same with everyone. The same way he spoke with me as well. Such a nice man. It's so happy to meet you, and I'm so happy you read all your books. Very good. Then I would just go and talk to him throughout the day whenever he was free. I remember very well the very first game, Gelfand played the Grunfeld. So everyone was like, oh my God, Anand is supposed to be the dynamic player here. Gelfand is playing the Grunfeld against him. That's such a surprise. That was what instant reaction was at the time. I went to Dvoretsky and asked him, does it surprise you that Gelfand plays the Grunfeld? Cool, yeah, without battling an eyelid. No, this is normal. The Russian word, they use the word normal a lot. This is normal, Anand makes a lot of mistakes in calculation. And I was like, what? According to Dvoretsky's level, that was, That is another thing. When you are good in anything, and when you are fearless, generally when you are good, you are fearless. And then when you are honest, that is when such fantastic opinions you get to hear.
Yes.
You know, that the 10 days I spent with him, 12 days, I can talk about him the whole day instead of the books. It was so interesting. So this is basically a compilation after he passed away. This was a wonderful work done by Barsky. Whatever was written about Dvoretsky, whatever he wrote, which has not been published yet, was made into one single book. So fantastic book this is. This is a very interesting book. The Mental Game by Alexander Galkin. You know, no book has been written like this so far in chess. Galkin is a serious chess coach, a grandmaster. So he found a protege, basically a strong, basically a Russian chess player from, let's say, I think she was about 13-year-old girl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he started coaching her at the age of 13, from the age of 13. Yeah. So he met this girl, Alexandra Maltsevskaya, and he worked with her for many years. A period of her time, his time with her, he has chronicled into a book. How during each and every tournament he coached her, what and all they observed during the game, you know, complete list of the achievements, and even there will be notes of what happened in each and every game. There are notes actually. Yeah. What he told her during, before a game, after a game, nothing terrible has happened, you are positionally outplayed, such is sport, these things happen all the time, you may have lost your concentration, so on, so on. What she told, everything he chronicled.
Wow.
So I think it's a very good book that all coaches should read.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I mean, honestly speaking, after reading this, I was thinking, oh my God, am I so serious about a coach? Because such a meticulous job. He has actually noted down even conversations with his trainee. Very interesting book. This is excellent. This is a book I'm extremely disappointed with. I had the pleasure of spending a few days with Nigel when he came to India, so I can claim that I know him a little. At the time he told me, I am writing a book. I was so happy because some players, it's a crime that they haven't written their biographies properly. One of them was Nigel Short, I felt. Nigel, you should write about your games. Come on, what is this? Then the book actually came. And I was so disappointed when it came because it is nothing but a selection of games of just a few tournaments. That's it. Just 8 tournaments, what happened in each and every game he has annotated. I was so disappointed when I read this book. When I don't think Short is going to write a book again, to be honest. When he writes a book, I would have been happy if he had described how he defeated Karpov, the only man in the history of chess, apart from Kasparov, who has defeated Anatoly Karpov, and no one thought Short could beat Karpov, he beat him. Just that one match, if he had written a book, I would have been happy. He didn't do that. Rather, he just annotated his games from 8 tournaments. It's very disappointing. A good book, but you know, that's what. I made it very clear. I would have been happy if he had written a wholesome book rather than this snippets kind of thing. This is the second one. Yeah. Now, this is the best book in many, many ways in recent years. If you know him already, very interesting personality, Tiger Hillarp Persson. The way he played his chess is amazing. If you know this earlier he had written his book on Tiger's Modern, the modern defense GCB7 with A6, B5, Tiger's Modern, Hippopotamus, whatever you call it. So that was his first book, which everyone knows. This is very interesting. Through his games mainly, and also through his belief systems, it's a kind of a collection of lot of different subjects. And 5 plus 5 is greater than 10. What he means is when 2 pieces work better against a queen, that kind of imbalance. That is what 5 plus 5 is 10 about. Hecatomb, the very first one, is about sacrificing, flurry of sacrifices. There's a wonderful game by Gregory Serper where he sacrifices all his games. There is this game by an old game between Auerbach and Gusev, not the Yuri Auerbach, some other Auerbach. This game happened in 1946, for example. You know, this is basically the position that they get at some point. So as you can see, the material balance becomes just a bishop for the queen, and still white wins. So this chapter is, for example, about sacrifices, I told you. Then he writes another chapter, 8th chapter, channeling Carpo. He gets into this period where he tries to study and understand Carpo, and then plays like Carpo in each and every game. No sacrifices, no attack, nothing. And he enjoys it. And that period he has written as one chapter. So, you know, it's all a collection of many of his ideas about chess. Again, if you see chess books today, that is what we lack. Once in a while, a gem comes where a strong player, not necessarily a world-class player, a strong grandmaster has original ideas about chess, which makes you feel wow.
Yes.
This, I think, is the best book. I made all my students, correct students, read the book. Any level of student will definitely, any chess player will definitely enjoy this book. Fantastic in recent times, I would say. That is one. Yeah. This is probably a very good book for anyone looking for ways to improve in chess. Ben Johnson runs a podcast, if you know him. And actually, most of his podcasts are about adult learners. Honestly, this book is also mainly about adult learners, but anyone can gain a lot. Full of very good interviews with people and, you know, very, very good ideas and all that. Some of the topics, if you see, do amateurs overemphasize opening study? Must you know endgames? Mimicking the masters, board visualization, blindfold chess. A very many good example of chess books. Again, I feel that, you know, once again, a good book for coaches to get an idea of how actually chess players become strong chess players. I really like this book. Yeah. I like this guy a lot as a person. I met him also. Really a nice guy. Simen Agdestein, the very first coach of Magnus Carlsen. Do you know Agdestein has a record which no other chess player has? No? Really, you don't know? Simen Agdestein is the only chess player who has played in a chess Olympiad as well as a football World Cup.
Yes.
Representing his country.
I was not remembering the name.
Yes. He was the only professional chess player. If you know, very famously, Kasparov told about him, the most talented amateur ever, about Agdestein. So, this is not his autobiography. This is biography by Atle Gron. I don't know how to spell his name. I like the book more for the subject, for the sake of the guy rather than actual strength of games and all that. A real nice story about a good grandmaster, a strong grandmaster. I like this book. This is one of the rare books. This is one of the rare books. Generally, books are written and from books it goes to make chessable courses. They first made the course, Carlsen and Howell, and then it was transcribed into this book. So this is basically about Carlsen's, what Carlsen does the best, grinding, especially in endgame. I am a big fan of Carlsen. I really like Carlsen's chess, especially endgames. Today, most of the practical endgames that I analyze with my students, I try to teach my students, most of the material comes from Carlsen. I have a viewpoint which I've argued a lot with some other coaches as well. It's an unpopular viewpoint. One, games of Capablanca, Alekhine, I don't think they are any significant anymore for a chess learner. Because the generation that we were from, for us, they were instructive books. But you have to remember that when I was a junior, the best of the chess books were not written yet. Today, for a student who wants to learn the game, everyone becomes a grandmaster by the age of 17, 18 today. Where is the time to start from Capablanca and end with Magnus Carlsen? Absolutely not possible. So, many of the books and many of the examples given to learn any part of chess, end game, middle game, opening, anything, most of those instructional books and games have lost their value, in my opinion. So today, if you take I'll take 3 different people from 3 different eras: Capablanca, Ulf Anderson, Magnus Carlsen. 3 extremely rich and complex endgame players of their times. You see the games of Capablanca, actually you will feel disappointed. All those coaches who still praise Capablanca, are you really analyzing those games with engines? Please do it first, is what I would say. Then you go to the games of Ulf Anderson, you do find a fascination there. But then you go to the games of Magnus Carlsen, it hits you. Carlsen's endgames are, the level that the modern chess is when it comes to complexity, overall about the game of chess itself. So this is a fantastic, fantastic book from that era. Very funnily given with this brown diagrams. Yes, I don't know why, but anyway, the book is good. This is good. The one which just fell down just now was Vishy's latest book, The Lightning Kid. Vishy has written this for basically aspiring chess players, as for basically teenagers. So again, most of my young students, I've asked them to read. This is a book every chess player should read.
Yes.
The elder chess players, the more experienced chess players will find it a little disappointing probably, because the target audience is different, but still it's Vishy Anand, so it's still worth reading. Yes. So it's good. Yeah. This was a book presented to me by my good friend Srikanth. So there are so many books written by Bobby Fischer. This is one of the richest. If you know him, John Donaldson, he was one of the best coaches of the US Olympic team for decades now. This is written with a lot of love and effort. If you see some of the analysis, see, first of all, see the kind of stories, see the kind of text that accompanies the book. I mean, the man has really done a lot of hard work getting to Fischer's life. Okay, whenever there is this Fischer's books are published, there is this crazy thing. We unearth some simultaneous games played by Bobby Fischer which have not been published before. Unless you are an American, you are not going to get excited about it. Why I like the book is the kind of effort that has gone into the book. So again, a wonderful book. This is something I feel, putting it in perspective of the ELO point that he asked me, this is a book actually even 1600s can benefit, because if you see modern chess, and let us assume it started with Anatoly Karpov, let us assume, for example, Bobby Fischer's books on Bobby Fischer and games of Bobby Fischer are the best probably to study when it comes to understanding strategic play, I would say. So in that context, this is a good book.
Still today, as you mentioned about...
Very much.
Okay.
Very much.
Yeah.
In fact, once again, another unpopular opinion. Actually, my 60-member games is not so great for a learner of the game. For a learner of the game, more instructive and more enjoyable is a book like this rather than 60-member games.
Okay.
I mean, again, coaches on autopilot, they recommend 60-member games when it comes to Fischer's games. But I will recommend this rather than 60-member.
Because this is not only games but also stories and how things have panned out.
That, and also my memorable games didn't cover the entire of his life. It was written by Fischer in the middle of his career.
Yes.
Whereas this looks at his entirety.
Okay.
It's a tragedy that Fischer quit chess in 72. Because, see, for example, the third game of the World Championship, Spassky Fischer, if you know the Fischer Spassky, if you know the game, it was a Queen's Gambit decline where it was the first Queen's Gambit decline by Fischer with white pieces ever. And the move Bishop b5. I showed this Bishop b5 to so many of my students to show them how depth of thinking is achieved in strategic play, for example. And it's a tragedy that he played another 7-8 games and finished his career, right? So he actually was going towards his peak, or almost achieved his peak, when he quit his chess. For such a grandmaster, definitely 60-member games which ends much before that period even came, how can it be his best collection of books?
Right.
Yeah, that's my argument.
Right.
Which else I'm going to show you? Yeah, this is one of my favorite players, Miguel Najdorf. Very unfortunately, the Grandmaster who wrote this, Zenon Franco Campos, he passed away very shortly after this book was written. Again, there is not much which can be gained from this book in terms of instructional value, but I like Najdorf a lot, and the sheer effort put into this book in terms of analysis is really, really interesting. You know, this is a typical book that, you know, you just want to have a chai in the morning, standing out, sitting out and browsing through. Very nice way to go through a lot of complex games. And it is being published by Citadel Publishers of Chennai. They get a lot of license for publishing of chess books which are published in Europe and do it in India. So the prices are also less. For some reason, their books are not being patronized properly. For example, they have the whole Migrate Perpetual series of very, very low price compared to an European edition. So this is one among by them. This is from the Thinkers Publishing, you know.
Thinkers
Publishing Belgium. Yes. This is the one. Yeah, this is a very good one. So I think we almost come to the end of it when it comes to books that we have not covered. This maybe I can add. So Tibor Karoli is writing many books of late of biographies of chess players. I was just telling you, Magnus Carlsen's Endgames. So he has written these 2 volumes on Endgame Virtuoso Magnus Carlsen. Fantastic books. The same he has started with Spassky here. He has already covered Corpo 2 volumes, 1 volume on Corpo's Endgames and all that. Karoli is doing a wonderful job. Koshnai, 2 volumes before this as well he has written. Karoli is doing a wonderful job with this book. So this I recently bought from ChessBase only. That's it. When it comes to chess books, I think I've given a good update of what has happened after we made the previous video.
We see that there are a lot of books that you are considering on coaches, like written on coaches, written by coaches.
Yeah.
Is this something that you have been very fascinated about all your life, or now you are like reading this?
Yeah, actually now that I became a serious coach in the last few years for youngsters, till a certain point I was only a second. Now the process of how a young mind gets sharper in chess fascinates me. Then I realized that when I read a book like Alexander Galkin's, I realized that, this is very interesting about coaching. First of all, no coach has the answers to all the questions. And no 2 coach has the same viewpoint or idea about anything actually. Every coach, I have my differences with Ramesh, I have my differences with Vishnu when I have discussed with them. There are many things that I don't agree with them when I read their interviews and all that. But the point is, it's very important that a student has to listen to all the arguments. That's very important. You get it, no? So, different perspectives of how a chess player develops. You develop them a lot when you read a lot of perspectives like this. I've already shown this, but I'll show this again. Probably for a chess coach, I think this is the most important book ever. Chess Improvement by Heimer and Wells. Peter Wells is a Grandmaster from England, doesn't play anymore for many decades. Barry Heimer is a cognitive scientist. So, combination of both of them explaining about how chess improvement happens. It's a fantastic book. I'll show you the topics again. Mindset and chess, motivation, the gift that keeps on giving, the role of challenge and feedback, the right kind of effort, failure, why it's needed, metacognition. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Finally, cooperation, the social reality of chess, whatever. So you get me, This is probably the best in the genre that you are telling about.
Wonderful. And there are also coaches who sometimes meet us and like new coaches, budding coaches, that what book they should read. I think this will be a good digest for them and a nice list for them to look at and learn.
It's a bit of a tough book actually. It's not for everyone again because it's a very deep book, but definitely everyone should read it for sure. It's a wonderful book. You also, this is something probably I'll add. This is not a chess book. I have ambitions to write books and I thought 2026 I'll do it. So I made my brother buy it from the US and send it to me. This is not available in Amazon. These people are crazy. Paris Review, you know, no? It's a magazine from US or Paris, whatever. So they actually go to Nobel laureates, such writers, and take their interviews and publish it.
Okay.
So it's about the greatest of the greatest writers' interviews, mainly on what makes them write well. So see the writers, huh? Borges, Murakami, Mulla. These are the names everyone knows for sure. I've read Singer a little bit. These are, you know, the best of the writers' interviews on what makes them write. I'm enjoying this, honestly speaking. You're telling me about chess coaching. This is like coaching on writing, something like that. So this is basically a fantastic book. Of late, this is something I really believe in. Whether you are a coach or a player and all that, a rich mind is a very important thing, to have the richness and all that. I have one more. It's very tempting to show you one book.
Please, we can stay here all day. Oh, wow.
This is a Tamil book.
Okay.
The name of the writer is Jayamohan. He is getting very famous globally now. Many of his works are now being translated into English and some Indian languages also. Jayamohan wrote almost every day. For 6 years he wrote and published on his internet page. He wrote 24,000 pages in 26 volumes, the whole story of Mahabharata as a novel.
Wow.
It is not religious, it is not mythical, it's much more than that. It is psychological. For example, he actually describes chess with knowing what is chess is when it comes to the context of the dice game between the Kauravas and the Pandavas. Actually, he makes it not as a dice game, he makes it actually like chess, though he doesn't actually name the game, for example. A monumental work. In my opinion, in Tamil language, this will stand for hundreds of years.
Wow.
It is such a wonderful book.
So what is the title?
The name of the book is Ven Murasu. Ven Murasu means white drum, you can say, pure drum or something you can say. Basically, you can see all those volumes, they are mostly those volumes.
Oh, wow.
All the huge volumes of that, they are all mostly volumes of this book. I have to find a good place to keep them properly. 26 volumes he has written.
So you have all the volumes?
Yeah, of course. I read it when it was being published itself, when it was being written itself. After that, I read it 2 more times. So the second time I'm reading now, I read it 1 more time. So it's a wonderful book, basically.
So it's based on Mahabharata, but it's a little...
It is a story of Mahabharata.
Okay.
But wonderfully written. For example, the 12 years that they went to the forest, Jayamohan takes 1 volume. It is called as... it's not here. I think it's inside. 1 year what they do is, the whole year, they go to different gurukuls and stay there and learn the principle of that gurukul, for example. So what Jayamohan does in that 1 volume in those 12 months is, he exposes the depth of Hindu philosophy. Again, not as a religion, because when it was probably written and spoken, it has nothing to do with the Hindu religion as such. It is a philosophy, our Vedic philosophy, our history, India's history, you can proudly call it as. The last one of those gurukuls was about just eating. Throughout the day, what people do is they prepare food and they serve food and they clean the place. This is what they do always. Everyone finds their place in their Gurukul. Arjun goes, hunts, brings deers and what not to be cooked and eaten. Bhim, of course, goes to the kitchen. Nakul goes to the cattle shed, takes care of the cattle and the horses and so on. Sahadev basically takes care of the correctness of everything being arranged and all. Yudhishthira doesn't find his place there. He doesn't realize, what am I supposed to do here? He is left without a role, and he understands then and there that he is nothing without his brothers.
Oh, wow.
For example.
Oh.
And he also understands at a higher level that, okay, he is known for his just and the depth of knowledge of how a life should be lived, right? In a place where action is done sincerely, you need not be worried about ethics. That's what he understands there as well. That's why he realizes that he doesn't have a role in that place. Writing this at the current time, that's the greatness of the author. This is a fantastic book, basically. The name of that volume is Sol Valar Kaadu in Tamil, a forest where words grow.
Oh.
Is the name of the translation.
Wow, beautiful.
So this is something I've been reading as well as giving it to telling it to whoever I come in contact with. Yeah, so we can go on the whole day. Maybe this is a good time to stop here.
Yeah, but sir, I have a question that here we can see like books on the world of chess and war and philosophy, and then you are reading something like this. How do you balance like going off from one book to another book? Maybe you are reading 2 pages or 5 pages of this book and then going into maybe a Dvoretsky endgame manual or something. How do you reconnect, or do you have a process of reading a book?
See, at the end of the day, when it comes to, as a beautiful saying in Tamil, what we know is only a handful, and what we don't know is the universal.
Yes.
Is there an end to seeking? Is there an end to knowledge gathering? Is there an end to reading? I don't think so, honestly speaking.
No.
So, as I'm growing older again, I realize the importance of time today more than any time in my life. So, when it comes to reading, travel and relationships, I feel that, I don't even have half an hour to waste. There should be a meaning in whatever I do. That actually, I try to get inspired into reading whatever I haven't done all these years. This is what I would say. And these are all things I very deeply am attached to. Literature, Tamil and English. Chess, of course. That's something very, very deeply I'm attached to. So it happens very naturally, honestly. Yeah.
Wonderful. And finally, as you mentioned that you are coaching one-on-one sessions with students, is there if you want to share, is there a process of how somebody can approach you as a coach, or it's very like person to person, player to player basis?
Yeah. Basically, okay, I train people of some level and above. Yeah, I mean, I'm open. I've been teaching a lot of people, and people do approach me, and I do take students, and I start working with them.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like I limit myself or something. Okay. I don't have an academy, so I teach people whoever approaches me, preferably, but a certain standard students I enjoy more. Yeah.
Okay. So anybody who is at a certain level and want to come and enjoy the books and also Saravaman's amazing profound knowledge. So Saravanan, once again, thank you so much for giving us your precious time and giving us a tour of this wonderful room and giving us some insights of these books. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Very nice of you. Kind words. Very nice of you. Thank you. Yeah.